No matter who you are, there's nothing like meeting an old hero. For some, it might happen on a baseball field or a basketball court. For me, it happened deep in the heart of the Florida Everglades. I was fishing with Flip Pallot, host of the old Walker's Cay Chronicles and my longtime hero. So many things stood out about Flip over the years. The way he fished, the way he poled a boat, the way he ran a boat. But there was always something else. Flip was different than the rest. Never loud, always humble, and always observant. As I learned deep in the heart of the Everglades, he's the same way today.
We're on a fish.
Whoa! What a toad!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Florida's Everglades National Park has been under assault from modern man for decades, and yet despite all its problems, it still has more than enough wildlife, beautiful flora and fauna to take your breath away. Join us in this week's episode as we travel deep into the Everglades.
Of all the wonderful places in this world of fish, there aren't many like the Everglades. The drive down through Everglades National Park is one an angler will never forget. It's almost like stepping back in time 100 years, and the natural beauty can overwhelm the senses. Flip and I launched the skiff and we were off. The Glades is a place this man knows well. He cut his teeth here in his younger years, and we planned to go way back to some of his old haunts. But before we got there, we bumped into a toothy friend.
That alligator.
Oh, yeah. Nice one.
Yeah, he's just floating there figuring out what he's going to do this morning.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Florida Bay was just gorgeous, glassy calm and still as it could be. Perfect conditions for spotting a tarpon.
That little wind riff that forms up out there, and the slick water between us and there.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep looking in there and see if you don't see a tarpon roll. Yeah, there's one.
Yep, right there.
Yeah,
On the opposite side.
yeah. Let's just sit here for a second.
Okay.
Let's just kill the motor and sit here for just a second and see.
Okay.
It's just kind of a little crescent bite. And they just, for some reason, over the years, they just love to lay up in there. Definitely worth a look. Let me see if I can get a little bit better. A few of them. If they don't show
There
real
you go,
soon.
Flip, right there.
Another
Same
one?
spot, yeah.
Okay.
Just like Flip said, the tarpon were definitely there, rolling and behaving just like they should. So I grabbed the 12-weight and stepped onto the bow with hopes of jumping a big one. We maneuvered around the basin for a spell, and I admit it was a bit surreal being pulled around by my old hero in such a magnificent setting.
All right. There they are, Flip.
I see them bubbling. Whoa, man. Some nice fish there.
They're there, huh?
Those tarpon were indeed showing, but they weren't behaving exactly as we'd hoped. Flip certainly found those big fish, but they were just a little too active this morning, not laying up as comfortably as we'd hoped. That's fishing, though, and the big tarpon weren't meant to be on this day. So we picked up and moved on. The morning sun was coming up hot and heavy, but the cool breeze felt refreshing and revitalizing. It gave us renewed hope, as did all the wildlife that flew by with each passing second.
Oh, Flip, what do you think we should try for that little fish?
I'm going with a small, very, very small wire-size hook.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to throw something big at him, and but I think this little wire.
Kind of a little weightless pattern. Just plump it right in there to him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wish I had a tiny clouser is what I really wish I had. If Bob
right.
Clouser can hear me right now. And see, this is tied with a palmer, and I'm going to take some of that off because it interferes with the sink rate.
Right.
So I'm just going to clip some of the palmer off.
Being that you want it to get down just a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Yes, come on.
Oh, there he is, Flip.
That's a tarpon by golly.
Nice job, nice job.
Michael. He's around
Smoke.
back of the sign. He's around back of the stick. There he goes. You better come down from there. I need some help with this.
Very nice.
Here he goes, if you want to jump.
You got him?
They just wanted that little fly, you know?
They sure did. Boy, he actually jumped on it when he ate.
Just wanted that little fly. Yeah, he did.
You see that?
Yeah, he did. Like a rainbow trout.
Catapulted at it.
Catapulted. Yeah, he did that. You know, these are perfect little reflections of their giant ancestors, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Did I just say that?
You did.
Can't believe I said that.
Oh, there he goes.
And the perfect release.
Nice job.
Oh boy, oh boy. That was fun. That was fun.
You got the best out of him.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we got the best out of that little guy. But as the sun rose higher in the blue sky, we knew there would be much more, along with a few other surprises like beach snook, and of course, more backcountry tarpon.
Sport Fishing Television is presented by Yellowfin, the choice of champions. By Mercury, #1 on the water. By Penn, the biggest name in fishing. And by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are.
I'm seeing my Everglades as if for the first time, through Mike's eyes. And like an adrenaline shock, I'm 15 years old again, and this beach, a brand new experience. Wow.
Woo, baby.
Big, big, big snook.
Wow.
Did you see the size of him?
No, I didn't see him. Well, there's a good fish right there. I think. I don't know. I think he may have just been had a lot of momentum going his way.
Oh, well, wait a minute now. What's wrong with that fish?
He felt bigger.
Well, what's wrong with that fish?
Actually, nothing. You're right. Got one, Flip?
Yes, and I like mine.
Woo!
Move over.
Little acrobat there, isn't
Move
he?
over. Move over and let me get mine out.
Tell you what, there we go. I think you might have me by an inch, Flip.
I assure you, I'm not counting. But I was counting. I was counting Mike's fish and watching as the Everglades worked her magic on his office-bound psyche.
See him hit right at the boat? He swallowed it. There. Pretty little guy, huh?
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Look at these stumps out here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is where that fish was.
Got him?
Need some help?
Sure, Flip. Watch those trebles there.
Just sweep your rod tip toward me. Just your tip.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. You whacked it just on the steady retrieve, like you were saying.
Well, I can remember in Flamingo when the snook totally disappeared. And there wasn't any way in a day of hard snook fishing that you could even see one, much less catch one. And then they all miraculously came back when they quit spraying DDT in the park.
That was back in the 80s, was it not? Mid-80s?
That was in the 70s.
70s?
Yeah. The comeback was in the 80s.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done, kiddo.
Thank you.
The tide along the beaches is screaming that it's time for us to relocate. Falling water deeper in the backcountry should have small tarpon on the prowl again. Tide, the greatest teacher in the Everglades classroom.
Gotcha, you dog.
Nice flip. Hey there. Another one.
They will not stay glued.
What a hoot.
You know, there's a million places in the world, maybe not a million, a lot of places in the world where you can go catch the giants.
Yeah.
But this is the prettiest tarpon house on the planet, and those little guys are perfect.
Yeah.
And if you scale down your expectations and your tackle,
And your gear.
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. No question about it, Flip. Maybe even more so.
I agree.
Coming up, Flip gives us a history lesson on this very special place.
This black, tannin-stained water is the life's blood of the Everglades. The creeks and bayous that supply it to the park are as countless as they are threatened by the watering of lawns, golf courses, and the flushing of toilets to the north of the park's boundary. If we lose this place, the only one of its kind on planet Earth, it will be simply because all of us allowed it to happen. Since the beginnings of time, sweet water has flowed unimpeded from Shingle Creek into the Kissimmee River Marsh and on to Lake Okeechobee. From Lake Okeechobee through the Miami River, that same water made its way through the southward sloping sawgrass prairies, falling off the peninsula into the Gulf of Mexico and Florida Bay. Before reaching its final brackish destination, the water deposited silt and debris along the glades of sawgrass and rock outcroppings, the debris forming a growth matrix for plants and forbs, which became islands in the sea of grass. This sea of grass stretched over 11,000 square miles and was the exclusive domain of Calusa Indians until settlers displaced them and began to drain and develop the glades. In 1947, just over 1 million acres of Everglades became the Everglades National Park, leaving us just 25% of what had been Everglades. But had it not been for the creation of the park, nothing would remain.
No guts, no glory.
Right there.
Just as I remember those many years ago watching television as a boy, here was Flip again, casting plugs with a pistol grip bass rod, the perfect tool for delivering plugs and jigs in dense Everglades backcountry. Soon it was my turn again. We maneuvered back into some open ponds where the mangroves parted, allowing us to break out the fly rod again. Was I feeling any pressure? Well, maybe just a little bit. But I settled down and just started letting the rod do the work.
Come on, Mike. Whoa! Hey, way to go, Mike. Way to go.
That is fun.
That was a great cast.
Thank you.
Everything good.
I don't think he's going to have a whole lot more, Flip.
He may surprise you.
You get him? He was right back in that hole there, Flip.
Okay, Mike. Boy, he is the color of this water, isn't he?
He sure is. Way back in the sticks.
This is his home, and he's this color.
They grow back here, don't they, Flip?
You know, I wonder what they do. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're supposed to know.
That's right.
And that's it. Good job.
Thank you.
What a thrill this day was turning out to be. We may not have been catching giant tarpon, but it was classic backcountry fishing at its finest. And for me, it was nothing short of a dream come true. When we return, Flip shows me how to do it yet again.
Sport Fishing Television has been presented by King Sailfish Mounts, offering a full selection of world-class release mounts. By Chica Lodge and Spa, luring anglers to the Florida Keys for more than 60 years. By Bomber Saltwater Grade, built to dominate. And by Ray Marine, world leaders in marine electronics.
Woo. Way to go, Flip. Thank you, Mike.
All right, Flip.
Boy, you're just leaning over there. You're just like real fired up about landing this fish, aren't
Yeah.
you? Good.
Just want to touch him once.
And so you shall. See where that leader is in the fly line, in the rod?
Yeah.
That's why you don't want a surgeon's knot.
Uh-huh.
Here it go out?
Yeah, it'll catch that guide, huh?
Yeah. Okay, I think we're
About
ready.
done.
All right, I got my tip, just...
Okay. There he is, Flip. Another fun size Everglades tarpon, huh?
Okay.
There he goes.
He didn't stick around very long, did he?
I've had many great days on the water, but this was one of the finest. Spending the day with Flip Pallot in Everglades National Park was something I never thought I'd do. But sometimes life throws you a bone, and you get that rare chance to spend some time with an old hero. I'll forever remember this day in this most beautiful place. Sport Fishing Television would like to thank Flip Pallot and Yellowfin Yachts. We would also like to thank King Sailfish Mounts for providing closed captioning for our hearing-impaired viewers. For Flip Pallot, I'm Mike Mazur. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to tune in next time for our next episode of Sport Fishing Television.